South Africa is adamant that it will continue to negotiate with Washington, D.C. to avert the looming crisis precipitated by the reciprocal tariffs. Speaking to the media at the Union buildings, President Cyril Ramaphosa says they'd submitted a framework deal to enhance mutually beneficial trade and investments with the U.S.
The military base was never on the table. We never discussed any military installation by the Americans here. So that was never discussed. We put on the table a package which would deal with our trade relations with the United States that contained what we were offering and what we wanted them to offer us. And we wanted a number of trade items to be exempted, and we wanted to offer them the ability to invest in our economy, as well as South African companies to invest in the United States.
Pretoria says it's willing to assist those companies and producers who will bear the brunt of these tariffs.
Many other countries, as you correctly say, are affected by these tariffs, and others much worse than us. Brazil, for instance, 50%. And on our African continent, we are the largest economy and the most industrialized economy on the continent. So obviously we will be a target, and because we export more than many other countries. So our task is to negotiate as strongly and as hard as we can with the United States. That for us is the main objective. But at the same time, we are saying to our companies that we are going to come up with supportive measures. We're going to support our companies through negotiations, but also there are other interventions that we are working on which will lessen the blow.
Ramaphosa also stresses that they still value their partnership with the U.S., given its significance in the global economy.
That package is still to be fully negotiated. What they want to do now is to deal with the trade issues now that have to do with what they are going to be imposing. And our negotiations with the United States are continuing. And let's be clear, South Africa is not the only country that is dealing with this crisis. And many other countries, some of which are in a much worse situation than we are, others are slightly better off. And all of us are involved in a process of having discussions and negotiations with the United States. And it should also be clear that the United States has come up with a unilateral tariff imposition on many countries in the world.
Other countries are also reeling after the Trump administration imposed its sweeping tariffs. 50% in Brazil, 30% for Algeria, 15% for Ghana, 25% for India, and 41% for Syria. Several other countries have been affected by the radical trade policy of the U.S.
The negotiations are at an intense phase. It's a complex negotiation. You see with the various trade deals that have been agreed by other jurisdictions, European Union yesterday, Japan before, Indonesia, etc., the United Kingdom, that there are many aspects to these negotiations. We're engaged in them. But the assurance for Canadian business, for Canadians, is we will only sign a deal that's the right deal, that's a good deal for Canada.
25% tariff on India is a little disappointing on us. We are constructively engaged with the US on the BTA. We are also not certain what will be the added penalty which he is talking about. But at least now we know that whatever we have to do is with reference to 25%. I think buyer and seller will start negotiating and to see what extent that can be absorbed.
Meanwhile, the South African government will intensify its diversification strategy to create resilience and collaborate with exports councils and industry associations to assist with alternative markets. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.